Stay with me for one night. I need to forget her, he begged his black secretary. But let's rewind to how it all started. The whole office knew the CEO, Min-jun, as the coldest man in Seoul. His face never smiled, his voice never shook, and his eyes never softened. People said he was carved from ice. But Joy, his black secretary, knew a secret the others did not. He felt things, deep things, he just hid them so well that even his own shadow could not see. On this day, the office was strangely quiet. The morning air felt heavy, like the sky was sitting on the building. Joy walked in with her usual bright smile, but as soon as she stepped into Min-jun's office, she noticed the first strange thing. His eyes. They were red. Not the angry kind. The hurting kind. He sat at his big dark desk, trying to type on his laptop, but his hands were slow, as if the words themselves were too painful to touch. Joy placed a fresh cup of ginger tea beside him. "Sir," she said softly, "did you sleep?" No answer. Just silence. The kind that makes your heart beat slowly and loudly. Joy pretended to organize papers, but really she was watching him, studying him. She had never seen his shoulders drop like that. She had never seen him blink like he was trying to stop tears from falling. Then at 10 a.m., she saw it, his phone lighting up with one name. Unesio. His girlfriend of 7 years. The woman the public thought he would marry. The woman Joy saw leaving his building the night before, with a suitcase. The call rang, and died. He didn't move. He didn't breathe. He didn't speak. All day, he worked like a machine with a broken heart inside. Joy carried the weight of his silence until the clock hit 7:52 p.m. That was when everything changed. When the elevator doors opened, and he stopped her with a voice that did not sound like his. A voice cracking like ice breaking under fire. "Joy," he whispered. "Stay with me for one night. I need to forget her." Joy's breath caught. This was the moment she should have said no. But when she looked into his eyes that had held pain for too long, her heart made the choice for her. And her life changed forever. The ride to his penthouse felt too quiet, too tense, too full of emotions that neither of them knew how to name. Joy's hands sat still on her lap, but her heart was racing. Min-jun sat beside her in the back seat of the company car, staring out the window at the Seoul night lights. Neon signs reflected in his sad eyes, making him look like a man trapped inside a dream he could not wake up from. When they arrived, he opened the door himself, something he never did. He wasn't acting like the CEO everyone feared. He wasn't giving orders. He wasn't standing tall. He was just a man who had been left. His penthouse was big and cold, just like him. Gray walls, sharp corners, expensive furniture no one sat on. No color, no warmth. Joy had never seen a home so beautiful, yet so lonely. He walked straight to the kitchen and opened a drawer full of instant ramen. She almost laughed. For a billionaire, he kept more noodles than gold. He handed her a packet. "You cook it," he said. "I don't want it to taste like my thoughts." It was the closest thing to a joke he had ever made. His voice cracked at the end, and she saw the pain he tried to hide. Joy turned away, boiling water, trying not to stare. They sat on the floor on the cold tiles, not at the big dining table. Legs crossed, bowls in their hands. They looked like two tired college students rather than a cold CEO and his secretary. At first, they ate in silence. Then, Min-jun whispered. "She left yesterday." Joy didn't speak. She just listened. "She said I work too much, that I talk too little, that loving me feels like hugging a wall." He gave a small, broken laugh. "A wall," he repeated. "Is that what I am, Joy?" She looked at him gently. "No, sir. You're just a man who learned not to show pain." And then, it happened. His eyes filled up. For the first time in 10 years, Min-jun cried. Not loud, not messy. Just tears falling quietly, like rain he had held inside for too long. Joy didn't touch him. She didn't move closer. She just let him be human. And when he finally leaned his head on her shoulder, she didn't pull away. She simply let him rest. By the time he fell asleep beside her, his hand lightly touching her arm, Joy knew one thing. Tonight wasn't about love. It was about healing a broken heart. But when dawn came, something deeper began. something neither of them saw coming. Sunrise painted the room soft gold. The warm light fell on Minjun's face as he slept, still leaning on her shoulder. His breathing was steady now, no longer shaky with pain. Joy had stayed awake most of the night, not because she wasn't tired, but because she didn't want to move him. He looked peaceful for the first time, like the storm inside him had finally stopped. She studied his face quietly. The long eyelashes, the straight nose, the jaw that always looked carved from ice, but now it was relaxed, almost gentle. Joy had worked for him for 2 years. She had seen him command rooms, silence board meetings, and break deals with nothing but a cold stare. But she had never seen him soft. When he woke up, his eyes opened slowly, confused at first. Then he looked at her, and everything changed. He sat up quickly, embarrassed. "I'm sorry. I didn't mean to." "It's okay, sir," she said softly. "You needed rest." He looked away, rubbing the back of his neck like a shy schoolboy, not the powerful CEO of Seoul. Joy stood to stretch her legs, but he grabbed her wrist gently. "Don't go," he whispered. Her heart stopped. He wasn't begging like last night. He wasn't breaking. He was simply asking her to stay, as if her presence made breathing easier. Joy sat back down. "What if she never comes back?" he asked quietly. Joy hesitated. She didn't want to lie. She also didn't want to hurt him. "Then maybe someone better is meant for you," she said. Minjun stared at her, too long, too deeply. And for the first time since she met him, he smiled. A small, shy smile, but a real one. They spent the morning talking about simple things. Her home in Lagos. Her childhood stories. How she used to sell puff puff with her aunt. How she danced in the rain as a child. Each story made him laugh softly. By noon, something in his eyes had changed. Something warm was glowing there. Something dangerous. Something like love. But then, at 1:14 p.m., a loud knock hit the door. A woman's voice followed. "Minjun, open the door. We need to talk." Joy froze. He froze. It was her. The ex. Unesio. She had come back. And she was not alone. The knocking grew louder. Sharp. Angry. Almost shaking the door off its hinges. Joy's heart jumped into her throat. She stood up slowly, unsure of what to do with her hands. Minjun didn't move. He looked like a man hit by a sudden storm after barely surviving the last one. "Minjun!" Unesio shouted again. "I know you're inside. Open this door right now." Joy looked at him carefully. "Should I leave?" she whispered. He shook his head, quick, desperate, almost frightened. "No," he said. "Don't go." The knock came again, followed by the sound of a key twisting in the lock. Joy's eyes widened. "She still has a key?" Joy whispered. Minjun swallowed hard. "I forgot to take it back." The door swung open. Unesio stepped in wearing a short white gown and expensive perfume that filled the room instantly. Her hair was perfect, makeup perfect, expression sharp enough to cut glass. She looked like a woman who always got what she wanted. Her eyes landed on Joy first. A black woman. In Minjun's home. At noon. With messy hair from sleeping on the floor. Unesio's face twisted. Then she turned to Minjun. "What is this?" she demanded. Minjun stood up slowly. "Unesio, you shouldn't be here." "Oh, please." She walked deeper into the room, heels clicking. "I came to apologize. I made a mistake yesterday. I was angry. I didn't mean to leave. But you," she pointed at Joy. "What is she doing here?" Joy swallowed hard. She wanted to speak, but Minjun stepped in front of her. "Don't talk to her like that," he said quietly. Unesio blinked, stunned. "You're defending her?" Minjun's jaw tightened. "She helped me last night." "She helped you." Unesio's voice rose. "You cried on her shoulder? You invited her here? Are you out of your mind?" Joy felt small, but she stayed still. "Whatever you think happened," Minjun said coldly, "you're wrong." "Oh, I'm wrong." Unesio snapped. She stepped closer to him. "You choose your secretary over your girlfriend of 7 years?" Minjun closed his eyes for 1 second. That 1 second told Joy everything. He was tired. He was done. And Unesio saw it too. Her face softened instantly. "Minjun, baby, don't do this. Don't throw us away." But when his eyes opened again, Joy saw it clearly. He wasn't looking at Unesio. He was looking at her. The air felt tight, heavy, almost painful. Joy wanted to disappear into the floor, but Minjun's presence beside her held her still. Unesio's voice softened. Too soft. A voice that wasn't begging, it was manipulating. Minjun, listen to me, she said gently, reaching for his hand. We can fix this. I was angry. I said things I didn't mean. Please come home. He pulled his hand away. Joy didn't think he would. Unesio froze. For a moment her perfect calm cracked, like a glass trembling under heat. What is happening here? She whispered. Why are you acting different? Why are you looking at her like she matters? Joy inhaled sharply. Minjun didn't. He stepped closer to Unesio, but not in love, in closure. You left, he said quietly. You walked away. And maybe we were already broken long before you did. Unesio's eyes filled with shock. Don't say that. Don't talk like we're over. Joy looked down. Her chest felt heavy. She didn't want to be the reason a 7-year relationship ended. She had only come to comfort him, not replace someone. Unesio, Minjun said, you didn't love me. You loved the idea of me. I did love you, she shouted. Tears gathered in her eyes. I loved you so much I waited years for you to open your heart. Joy felt the pain in her words. It was real, sharp, raw. But Minjun didn't move. You waited, he said softly, but you never saw the door was locked, even for me. Silence. Unesio wiped her face and suddenly turned to Joy, pointing sharply. You, she said. This is your fault. You put ideas in his head. You made yourself look innocent and caring so he would depend on you. Joy stepped back. I didn't do anything, she whispered. You did everything. Unesio screamed. I can see it in his eyes. He trusts you. He never trusted me like that. Minjun stepped between them. You will not speak to her that way, he said firmly. Unesio's heart cracked right in front of them. She took a shaky step back, tears dripping. So that's it, she whispered. I come back to fix things, and I find you choosing another woman. Minjun didn't blink. I'm choosing peace, he said. Unesio stared at him for a long, painful moment. Then she turned, walked to the door, and stopped only once. You will regret this, she said quietly. Both of you. The door slammed. Joy and Minjun were alone again. But nothing was the same. The silence after Unesio left felt even louder than her shouting. Joy stood frozen beside the kitchen island. Her fingers shook slightly, though she tried to hide it. Her heart was beating too fast, too loud. Minjun stood across from her, staring at the door like he could still feel the storm outside it. She spoke first. I'm sorry, Joy whispered. He turned to her slowly. Sorry? For what? For standing in the middle of your relationship, she said softly. For being here today. For making things worse. She expected him to agree. He didn't. Instead, he walked closer, step by slow step, until he stood right in front of her. You didn't make anything worse, he said. You were the only thing that made last night bearable. Joy's breath caught. She looked away, but he gently lifted her chin with one finger, guiding her eyes back to his. She left me, he whispered. But she didn't break me. Life broke me long before she walked out. Joy felt her heart twist. He continued, voice low and honest. You were the only person who stayed. Joy's cheeks warmed. She wanted to respond, but her words stuck in her throat. Minjun exhaled deeply and stepped back, running a hand through his hair. She came back too fast, he said. She didn't return for me. She returned for the life I can give her. He looked at Joy. You came for me. Not my money. Not my power. Me. Joy bit her lip. I only wanted to help. You did, he said softly. He sat on the floor again, the same place they had eaten ramen. Then he patted the tile beside him. Sit, he said gently. Please. She sat. They didn't talk for a long time. They just breathed in the same quiet, warm space. Then he whispered a confession she didn't expect. When I woke up on your shoulder, I felt peace I haven't felt in years. Joy stared at him, unsure how to hold that kind of softness. He leaned his head back on the wall. I don't know what this feeling is, he said. But I know it started last night. Joy swallowed hard, because she felt it too. At that moment, his phone buzzed. A new message lit up the screen. Joy saw the name. Her heart froze. Unesio. And, under it, the message. If you think this is over, wait until you see what I do next. The message from Unesio hung in the air like a dark cloud. Joy's chest tightened as Minjun read it, his jaw clenching with quiet anger. He locked his phone slowly, placed it face down on the table, and looked at Joy. I won't let her drag you into this, he said softly. Joy nodded, but she wasn't sure if he could stop what was coming. The next morning at work, the building felt different. People whispered. Phones buzzed more than usual. Joy walked past groups of employees who suddenly stopped talking when she passed. She kept her head up, even though her stomach twisted with worry. In the elevator, 2 assistants didn't even try to hide their whispers. Did you hear? I heard she was in the CEO's penthouse all night. Impossible. No, someone said Unesio came back and found them together. Joy's heart dropped. Rumors already. She stepped off the elevator, trying to breathe. Minjun was already in his office, standing by the window. When she walked in, he turned around, and she saw it immediately. He knew. He held up his phone. She started it. Joy blinked. What? He handed her the screen. It showed a post on Unesio's private social account, the one only her wealthy friends followed. A single sentence. Some women climb into men's beds to steal love that doesn't belong to them. No names. But the whole city loved Unesio. People would guess. Joy's chest tightened. She's blaming me. Minjun stepped closer, his voice low and protective. She won't win. Joy lowered her eyes. She already started a fire. Then I'll put it out. His voice was firm. Not cold, determined. But Unesio was only getting started. Before noon, she appeared in the lobby of the company building with a gift bag, sunglasses, and a fake smile. She acted polite to the staff, but her eyes were sharp like a knife. She signed in as a visitor, heading straight for the CEO's floor. When she stepped out of the elevator and saw Joy at the desk, she smirked. Still here? Unesio asked sweetly. Impressive. Most women run away when things get messy. Joy stood tall, even though her hands trembled. Do you have an appointment, ma'am? No, Unesio said. But he'll see me. Joy buzzed the intercom. Sir, she's here. Silence crackled. Then Minjun's cold voice came through. Deny access. Unesio's smile dropped. You're denying me, she snapped. Is this because of her? Joy swallowed hard, but Minjun replied calmly. It's because I don't want drama in my company. Leave. Unesio's face burned red. She turned sharply to Joy. This is your fault, she hissed. Joy didn't answer. Unesio stormed toward the elevator, but not before whispering something deadly. You think he cares about you now? Wait until I destroy your name. The elevator closed. Joy stood still, heart pounding. Minjun came out of his office. He didn't hesitate. He took Joy's hand. I won't let her touch you, he said. And the way he held her hand made her believe him. The next day, Unesio tried again, but this time, her plan was bigger. She contacted a gossip blogger, a loud one, a messy one, a hungry one. Within hours, a headline spread across social media. Cold CEO Minjun's secret other woman? Sources say he cried in her arms while his girlfriend returned. Joy nearly dropped her phone when she saw it. The article didn't show her picture, but it described her too clearly. A young black secretary working closely with him. People connected the dots instantly. Comments exploded. She better stay in her lane. I knew he was too cold for Unesio. A secretary? Really? Homewrecker. Poor Unesio. Who's the girl? Find her picture. Joy felt tears burning her eyes. Minjun found her in the hallway, holding her phone with shaking hands. Joy, he said, stepping close. Look at me. She lifted her eyes. I'll fix this, he said. She shook her head. It's my face they want. My life they're attacking. I let her hurt you, he said quietly. Not again. Joy looked at him sadly. Why is she doing this? Minjun hesitated, then answered. Because she knows she's losing. Joy's heart skipped. Losing, what? She asked. He looked directly into her eyes. Me. Her breath caught. He continued, voice low and honest. And because she sees something I didn't see at first. Joy whispered, "What does she see?" His answer shook her. "The way I look at you." Joy felt warmth shoot through her chest, her stomach, everywhere. She looked away quickly, but Minjun gently touched her arm. "Joy," he whispered, "last night changed something in me." Before she could respond, the office phone rang. Joy picked up, trying to sound normal. Her eyes widened. "It's the board," she said softly. "They're asking for an urgent meeting." Minjun squeezed his eyes shut for a second. "UNESO isn't done," he muttered. "She wants the board to pressure me." He straightened his suit. But then he surprised her. "Come with me." Joy froze. "Me? No, sir. Rumors will get worse." "I don't care." He extended his hand. "Please." Her heart thumped loudly. She placed her hand in his. And together, they walked into the boardroom. Every eye followed them. Every whisper grew. But Minjun didn't let go of her hand. Not once. The boardroom fell silent as Minjun entered, still holding Joy's hand. The directors exchanged looks, confused, surprised, and curious. Some of them had already seen the trending rumors online. Madame Hua, the oldest board member, cleared her throat. "Minjun," she began, "we need to address the situation involving your ex-partner and the accusations." Several eyes shifted to Joy. Joy wanted to shrink into herself, but Minjun squeezed her hand gently, grounding her. "There is no situation," Minjun said calmly. "There are lies, rumors, and none of them involve wrongdoing." Another board member spoke sharply. "Still, your personal life cannot affect the company's reputation." "It won't," Minjun said firmly. "Because the truth is simple." They waited. Joy held her breath. Minjun looked around the room with steady eyes. "UNESO and I are over," he said. She left. She walked out. But someone stayed. He glanced at Joy. "And she stayed because I needed a human moment." Nothing more. Joy's eyes softened. One director narrowed his eyes. "But the public thinks your secretary is stealing you from UNESO." Minjun's jaw tightened. "The public is reacting to a lie she spread out of jealousy." "Jealousy of what?" another asked. Minjun inhaled. Then he said something no one expected. "Jealousy because I care about Joy." Joy's heart stopped. Every board member stiffened. Minjun didn't look ashamed. Didn't look confused. He looked sure. "I don't apologize for trusting her," he continued. "She has been the most loyal person in my life." Joy's eyes watered. She looked down quickly. Madame Hua leaned forward. "But do your feelings for her affect your role as CEO?" His answer was calm. "No. They make me better. More human. And that is something this company needs." The room fell quiet again. Then one director whispered to another, not quietly enough. "How can he catch feelings for his secretary so fast?" Minjun heard. He stood. "Meeting is over," he said coldly. No one argued. He led Joy out of the boardroom, hand still holding hers. When they reached the hallway, she finally spoke. "You didn't have to defend me so much." "Yes," he said softly, "I did." She shook her head. "Now the rumors will get worse." "Let them," he said. "I'm done hiding." Joy blinked. "Hiding what?" He stepped closer, very close, until she felt his breath. "Hiding the way I feel when I look at you." Her heart fluttered wildly. But before she could reply, his phone buzzed again. A new message from UNESO. "You think you won? I'm just beginning." Joy's stomach twisted. Minjun didn't even flinch. "I don't care what she does," he said. "She can't stop what's already happening." He brushed Joy's cheek gently with his thumb. "And what's happening is me falling for you." UNESO's threats came fast, but her plans fell apart even faster. The first failure happened the next morning. She tried to post a long message online, pretending to be a heartbroken victim. She wrote about betrayal, another woman, and 7 wasted years. She waited for sympathy. But people didn't respond the way she expected. Instead, someone in the comments exposed screenshots of her partying last month with a rich actor in Gangnam, the same actor she once told Minjun was just a friend. People started asking questions. Is she pretending? Did she cheat first? Why blame the secretary? Why leave if she still wanted him? UNESO deleted the post. But the damage was already done. The second failure happened later that afternoon when she tried to talk to Minjun's mother, hoping to turn her against Joy. But Minjun's mother already knew the truth. She had seen her son unhappy for years. She had seen him break silently. She had always wished he'd meet someone who made him smile. And Joy was the first woman in a long time who made that happen. Mrs. Han simply told Unesio, "You and my son were mismatched. Let him go." Unesio left, shaking with anger. But it was the third failure that truly broke her. She showed up at the company parking lot, waiting for Minjun. When he walked out, she ran to him. "Minjun," she cried, grabbing his arm. "Please, we need to talk." He didn't pull away, but he didn't move toward her either. "What do you want?" he asked calmly. Tears slid down her cheeks. "I want to explain." "Go ahead." She swallowed hard, shaking. "I didn't love you the way you loved me," she whispered. "I loved the comfort, the life, the security. You gave me a world I wanted to belong to." Minjun didn't say a word. Unesio continued, voice breaking. "But you never gave me your heart. So I started looking for it somewhere else." Minjun closed his eyes briefly. "So you used me," he said softly. Unesio cried harder. "I tried to love you, I swear. But I never really did. Not the way you deserved." He opened his eyes, cold but calm. "I know." She froze. You knew." "I felt it for years," he said. "I just didn't want to admit it." Unesio covered her face. "I'm sorry." "For hurting me?" he asked. "No," she whispered. "For hurting her. She didn't deserve the lies." Minjun finally stepped back. "This is the last time we talk, Unesio. Let us both move on." She nodded slowly. Then she watched him walk away. And for the first time, she realized she never really had him at all. When Minjun returned to the office, Joy was at her desk, sorting files with quiet focus. But he could tell she was still worried. By the way her shoulders sat tight. By the way she didn't look up immediately. "Joy," he said gently. She glanced up, eyes soft but unsure. He walked closer. "Things are over with Unesio. Completely." "I heard the rumors died down," Joy said. "Everyone's talking about something else now." "Yes," he said, because the truth came out. Joy looked at him carefully. "Are you okay?" He paused. "I will be," he said honestly. "Because of you." Joy's cheeks warmed. She quickly looked away, pretending to fix a paper that didn't need fixing. "Come with me," Minjun said. She blinked. "Where?" "To the rooftop." Joy hesitated, then followed him. The Seoul sky was soft and blue when they stepped outside. Wind brushed her skin. The city stretched beneath them like a universe of lights and movement. Minjun stood in front of her, hands in his pockets, heart visibly racing under his suit. "I need to ask you something," he said. Joy tensed. "Sir." "Minjun," he corrected softly. "Tonight, please call me Minjun." Her breath caught. He stepped closer. "Joy, will you be my girlfriend?" Her heart stopped. She stared at him. At the man who once felt untouchable. Unreachable. Ice cold. Now he was looking at her like she was the first warm thing he had seen in years. But Joy's fears rose faster than her heart. "Sir, Minjun." "I can't," she whispered. His face fell, but gently, not angrily. "Why?" Joy's hands shook. "Because I don't want to be a rebound. I don't want to be your second choice. Your pain might confuse you." "You're not second," he said softly. "You were never second." Joy stepped back. "But it's too soon. You just ended a long relationship. People will talk. They'll hate me. I don't want to be the reason the world attacks you again." He reached for her hand gently. "Joy." "I'm not confused. I know what I feel." Joy shook her head. "I'm sorry. I can't say yes. Not yet." She walked toward the elevator. He didn't follow. He just stood there, watching her leave, his heart breaking in a new way. Not from rejection, but from the fear that he'd lose the one person who healed him. Joy couldn't sleep that night. She lay in her small apartment, staring at the ceiling, hearing Minjun's voice in her head again and again. "Will you be my girlfriend? You're not second. I know what I feel." Each word warmed her and scared her. She didn't want to break him again. She didn't want to ruin his healing. She didn't want to destroy his career with more rumors. But she also couldn't deny the truth inside her chest. She liked him. Deeply. Maybe more than she should. The next day at work felt strange. They didn't talk much. He stayed in his office. She stayed at her desk. But every time she looked up, she saw him watching her quietly, softly, like he was waiting, but trying not to push. Her heart twisted each time. At lunchtime, she went to the break room, but 3 employees whispered the moment she walked in. Is that her? She's pretty. No wonder he fell for her. What do you think she'll do? Joy closed her eyes. Everyone already knew. Everyone already assumed. Everyone was waiting for something she didn't even understand yet. That evening, Joy waited in the rooftop garden, holding her hands together. She wasn't sure what she would say. Her heart was loud. Too loud. Minjun opened the door slowly. He looked tired. But for the first time, he didn't look lost. He walked to her, stopped in front of her, and exhaled softly. Joy, she told me the complete truth, he said. I know, Joy whispered, her voice small. He looked at her with deep, calm eyes. She told me the truth. She said I was never her love. I was her comfort, her safety, her easy life. Joy lowered her head, not knowing what to say. But he continued quietly, I don't feel angry anymore. Joy looked up. I don't, she asked. Minjun shook his head. Because losing her showed me what real love feels like when I met you. Joy blinked fast. Her throat felt tight. He took one slow step toward her. I asked you to be my girlfriend, he said softly. And you said no. Joy looked away, feeling shy, feeling small, but also feeling full. I was scared, she whispered. I didn't want to be a replacement. Minjun touched her chin gently, lifting her face. You are not a replacement, he said, voice steady. You are the reason I learned how to smile again. A warm tear slipped down Joy's cheek. And you, she whispered, are the first man who ever made me feel safe. The wind blew softly around them. The city lights glowed below. Joy felt her chest fill with something warm and bright. Minjun took her hands. No more running, he said. Not from me. Not from this. Joy closed her eyes and breathed out slowly. Okay, she finally whispered. Minjun froze. Joy opened her eyes again. I'll be your girlfriend, she said softly. If you still want me. He didn't speak. He didn't breathe. He just pulled her into his arms, holding her like she was the missing piece he searched for his whole life. Joy felt his heart beating hard against her own. You said yes, he whispered in her ear, his voice shaking with happiness. I won't forget this night. She rested her head on his chest. Then stay with me, she whispered. For every night. He smiled. Every night, he promised. The rooftop lights glowed around them. The wind pressed their bodies closer. And for the first time since the world broke him, Minjun felt whole. And Joy? She finally felt chosen. Truly chosen. And as they held each other under the quiet soul sky, their story did not end. It only just begun. If you enjoyed this story, please give it a like, share it with friends and loved ones, and subscribe for more amazing stories.